Welcome back to the Hardcover Podcast, Book Babes. I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Peyton.
And with the end of the year, we are going to be tier ranking every single book that we read in 2025.
Yes, so drink a cup of coffee as we dive between these paper sheets. It feels so good to not be completing our book challenge at 11 p.m. on the 31st because
Been there.
that was us last year. So if you want to see the chaos of last year's reading challenge, crazy. I did not change my reading goal from last year because I struggled so hard with it last year that I was like, if I could just get this done this year without pain, that's improvement. Aubrey felt some other different ways. We're going to get there in a second. But different year, more efficient at reading. Every year we're bettering ourselves. Anyways, this year I have read 40 books, so 40. That is 17,066 pages.
Yeah.
Last week when I was putting even just some of the books I put together, and you put all those books together, you realize how many pages you have read. It's an Olympic sport. And my average star rating was a 3.8.
A little picky.
A little picky this year, which I'm for it.
So my average rating was 4.1, which honestly, I'm shocked. Like, I think you are more like critical of books, but I feel like I'm just such a hater.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird. You'd think yours would be lower, but you give books more benefit of the doubt.
I think I do more extremes. I think I have a lot of 5 stars and then a lot of 1 stars. We're very much like sitting in that middle ground where you're like,
I do. I give everything
3.25.
Yeah.
I read 60 books this year, which was crazy. Last year I did 50. I don't know what like came over me to add 10, but I did, and I hit it, which I'm very pleased with myself for. I read 25,904 pages. That's a lot of pages.
That's a lot of pages.
Thank you for audiobooks.
When I first met Aubrey, she's like, I don't do audiobooks. I don't like audiobooks. I'm like, no, but girl, you could read so much. And while you're working, and now she is the audiobook queen.
And that's how I do it, is that I can play video games and I can listen to books while I work. Because otherwise, like when we started the podcast, we were hitting like 20, which is still like great.
But like you need to make time to read. And that's hard. So love. All right.
Love.
Well, today's a tier ranking episode, which everyone loves.
Yes. And we have a lot to tier rank, obviously, because 40 books for Peyton and 60 for me. So jumping right into it, our categories are at the absolute top, God tier Wordsmith Bible. These are our perfection, actually. Then we have The Flowers Were Needed. These are the good books, okay? Okay, girl, I see you. And I read it. I read it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a true neutral
middle
of the line for us.
Yeah.
I read it. Yeah. Would not recommend. Would it? I wouldn't recommend. And then finally, for our very special books, Fuck You and Burn Your Pages.
Should have never been published.
So let's get into it. We are going to be going in chronological order from how we read it. So we're going to be starting with our Q1 books. Right at the top, we have The House in the Cerulean Sea.
What a good one to start this video off with. This was a banger to start the year.
Yes, it was so perfect because it's such like a heartwarming story, and the politics in the world felt like it was on fire. It was the winter, so you're already depressed. So I really needed that like tender moment to keep me going.
Oh, absolutely. This book means so much to me. And as much as I want to put it at that like God tier, I just really think that I want to keep that my like top tier for like the really special books of the year.
It's special.
House of Cerulean Sea, I will gift, I will recommend, I won't shut up about. I personally am going to put this in The Flowers Were Needed because TJ Klune deserves all the flowers.
I agree. Flowers Were Needed. Okay, next up, funnily enough, this is a book that Miss Taylor Swift has read. And Peyton really enjoyed The God of the Woods. I'm gonna put it at Okay Girl, I See You. I liked it, but mystery is just not my genre. And there's better books on this list. No hard feelings, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think I would put it at like Okay Girl, I See You. I really enjoyed it. Like, it's one of my like maybe top 10 books of the year. I only read, in grand scheme, I only read 40. So, like, it's not that hard to do, but yeah, definitely belongs there.
Okay, I thought you were gonna put it up one.
I know, but I can't put it next to House Really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
need to make some hard decisions here. All right, our next book was like the book of the beginning of last year. We went to a midnight release party for this. We are talking about Rebecca Yaros's Onyx Storm. What a conflicted book. I try to avoid, it's so funny. I try to avoid talking about this book as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because part of me feels very protective over this series. But there's another part of me that's like, yeah, but you need to speak your truth also.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Now that we're like a year out, I do have different feelings about this book.
I know, like the magic is kind of like wearing off.
Yeah.
I love the community events, and I felt the same way about the latest SJM book, is that I love when everyone's like coming together and talking about a book, going to a midnight release party. I was just looking at the footage from that and I was like, what?
So many good memories.
What good memories. But the actual book, I think I'm going to do Okay Girl, I See You.
Yeah, because it's like, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I know other people have much more extreme reactions to it, but as fantasy girls, fantasy tried and true,
It was fun.
I liked going to the islands. I liked seeing more of the world. And I know some of the romance-heavy girls were like,
No.
but whatever. It wasn't as good as the first, but
No, nothing will beat it. But it was better than Iron Flame.
yes.
Next up was a short story by Frederick Bachman that I read very early in the beginning of January. And that is The Answer Is No. I am going to give this like, and I read it because it's a short story.
Yeah.
Frederick Bachman's writing, if you've ever read A Man Called Uga, his writing is just, it's amazing. It's so good. It kind of reminds me of like a TJ Clooney kind of writing. It's funny, but very depressing. I love his writing. This was a very cute short story to like start off the year, but like I read it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. I don't know if I wouldn't recommend it, but I read it.
It's hard to rank anything like novellas, short stories higher than that because it's like it takes a lot of skill and talent to make something that short feel as like strongly as anything else.
Oh, absolutely.
Next up, we read with Book Club 7 Days in June. This was a little steamy romance, though later Book Club got to steamier picks, which is very exciting to dive into like smuttier books with the Book Club girls because we got split reactions. I am going to put this, and I read it. Here's the thing. No. Okay, I'm going to put it at Okay Girl, I See You. I have really mixed emotions about this one. I love the idea of two writers who like used to date are now like keep writing about one another in their works because they're not talking. Like the concept of this book was so killer. I hated the ending, and the ending really ruined it for me. Like it was almost like a 4.5 star read, and then it got just grating, the ending. Okay Girl, I See You.
I'm putting this at yeah. I went like the other way.
Yeah.
Because the only thing, like, I remember reading this book and I only cared about the daughter in the book the whole time. That's all
I hated her.
Really?
I hate kids that are more intelligent than they seem. Like she was like 13.
Like, I was like, just make her older, make her the main character.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand what you're saying. Yeah, no, this is like an yeah. It's not that I hated it and would not recommend it. It's just like, it was a book club book. I did it to be included, and that's it. Not really interested in reading anymore. I do like, I love the front cover, first of all.
Yeah.
And I do like the idea of it, but yeah, no.
All right, next up, we have Miss Ellie Hazelwood, her 50 Shades of Grey, but we're in college, experimental book Deep End, alternatively titled Wet by
Yes.
Allie. Here's the thing, is that I really love Allie Hazelwood, but I read a lot of her books this year, and when I'm trying to rank them within themselves and where I think it should go with the collection of books, I think I have to put this at like, Okay Girl, I See You.
Yeah, I'm going to put it there too.
Like, did I give it 5 stars? Potentially. But like, does it hold up to my others? No.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put it in Okay Girl, I See You, because I don't look back at this book and I'm like, oh, I love that book. Like, it was a good, fun book. I think I even gave it 5 stars when I read it. But
yeah. Yeah.
There's other books, and we're gonna talk about them a little bit.
Yes. Okay, next up, I read Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is book 2 in the Caraval trilogy, and this is my favorite. We're going to talk later. I ended up just finishing at the end of the year here the trilogy and the Christmas special. Nothing can beat Legendary. I like the sassier sister, and I'm going to put this at the flowers where needed.
For She Is Wrath. This was a spin on the Count of Monte Cristo. Such a fun one. Different than what we usually read. I don't think it's like a standout stellar fantasy read in like when I think back the year, but it was different, it was fun, and it's a standalone.
All good things.
We don't get that a lot these days.
Yes, I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars. I'm gonna put it at okay, girl, I see you. Like, I see you. I really like.
I see you. You're trying, girl.
What she tried to do. It was not enemies to lovers, but lovers to enemies. And I really latched onto that plot, but the ending just didn't hit the way I wanted it to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I also never read A Count of Monte Cristo, so, like, I wasn't getting that, like, nostalgia hit.
Like, oh, yeah.
The way other people might. But I would recommend it. Next up, the one that literally killed me. Definitely the first one for my God tier wordsmith Bible category is got to be Sunrise on the Reaping by Miss Suzanne Collins. I cried on chapter 2. I cried on the last chapter.
I have nothing else to say except like it's Suzanne Collins. This is my favorite story, book, everything of hers thus far. Which I have to say, when you hear a new Hunger Games is coming out, you're like, all right, like
money grab. Yeah.
No. This is gold. Absolute gold, everyone. All right. Oh, okay.
So next up is The Lost Bookshop.
The deep breath we both took.
Guys, I have never had a book that I started and was like, oh, this is written so beautifully. This could be a 5-star read to end at a 2-star read.
Yeah, this is falling hard at a would not recommend for me.
No, I wouldn't recommend.
I'm not saying like burn the I'm not mad at it.
No.
But like really do not recommend. Because yeah, I've never had usually the book sucks and then it gets really good. And like at least the ending was good. Everything else, no. This is like we had so much potential, and then it's like she just like was like, oh shit, my draft is due and I just need to come up with something quick for like overnight. Like
yeah, she pantsed her way downhill.
Literally.
So that's unfortunate. Then so you read this one for Valentine's Day when I think it came out, and then I ended up reading it later in June or July, but we have The Fall Risk.
This is my first Abby Jimenez book, and it sold me on like putting her on my future TBRs. This book is so cute. It's a short story, probably the best short story I've ever read. For me, I definitely feel like I'm kind of in between Okay Girl, I See You and The Flowers Were Needed because it was such like a standout book, but because it's a short story, I'm gonna throw it down at Okay Girl, I See You because if there was another Abby Jimenez book on here, I'd be like, oh my gosh, no, that tops it 100%. Like, I read this in a night.
I agree with you. I did read an Abby Jimenez book. I read Yours Truly, and that is the only reason I'm putting this at and I read it. I think it is the closest novella to hitting a different category for me, though. Like, it's high up on the and I read it. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. I don't want to give this more time than I need to because I hate this woman, but I did get married this year, and my bachelorette party was in Disney and Universal.
Lots of
fun. So, like, organically, I had to go get my Luna Lovegood wand and have an amazing time. So, to prepare myself, I never read the Harry Potter books before, and I read 1 through 3. And I'm just going to put them all at and I read it because I don't recommend reading any of these, but I'm not going to lie, Harry Potter's very fun universe to be in. And I had a blast at Harry Potter World, but I'm not giving a dime or sponsor any of her work. So there's that. We're done talking about it. I was reading it, like, I pirated the books off the internet because I refused to buy them, which sucks, and I'm like, I feel like I'm living in sin.
The ethical pirating.
Yeah, the ethical pirating.
Oh my God.
That's where it's necessary.
I then read The Trial of the Sun Queen,
Ooh.
which was exciting. It is a romantasy, and I'll say it felt like any other romantasy. It's my sister's like favorite book, or it was at the time.
Really?
I thought it was fine. I'm gonna say, okay, girl, I see you. It was definitely trying to do an interesting thing. The only thing I'll say is that in the first book, the love interest is clearly not the end game. There's more in the series that I'm not gonna read because we get the love interest POV, but he's like hunting her.
Right.
And so it's like, well, like they don't interact until like maybe the last chapter. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna believe this romance the lead is having with this other character when I know damn well that's not the love interest. So, did I say okay, girl, I see you? And I read it. Let's be honest.
You said okay.
It hasn't stuck with me.
Yeah, hey, there's just some books like that. Alrighty, that is our wrap up on Q1.
Yes.
If you didn't know, and we're probably gonna do them next year too. At the end of every quarter, we do review what we've read thus far. So if you've been with us all year, you already know what's coming next too. As we jump into Q2.
Yeah, let me grab my mug.
Aubrey's feeling a certain type of way about this next book. Lauren Roberts' Fearless. This is how we started off our Q2.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Aubrey feels a lot worse about this series than I do because of, oh my God, we talk about this so much. I'm tired. And she who will be named, but will be named later. I'm tired of giving these people my energy. But we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is book 3 in the Powerless trilogy. I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah. I'm putting it at fuck you and burn your pages. I'm tired. I'm tired of my energy. I'm tired of my anger. Go read Red Queen. And that's all I got to say.
I'm going to put out would not recommend, but also what Aubrey said.
Okay, next up was our book club book. We have The Unmaking of June Farrow. I'm actually really glad in retrospect that we read this with book club because I've seen a lot of fantasy girls like going for it because it's kind of fantasy, it's kind of historical fiction.
Yeah.
And while I think my reading experience got a little ruined because we have some time travel magic in the story, and the ladies at book club could not get it together.
They could not.
They couldn't understand it
for the life of them.
And I was like, all you have to know is she's stuck and has to make a decision between this life and the other. And they could not wrap their heads around the magic system. And I was like, I can't just keep having this conversation over and over again. That said, I'm going to put it at, and I read it. I think if I would have read it on my own, it might have been a little higher.
I really like this one. I'm going to put it at, okay, girl, I see you. I think I liked it equally too. Honestly, the God of the Woods, and Unmaking of June Farrow in my head, like, they are like equal playing ground. But yeah, those girls, they really needed it to be like concrete. And this book does leave a lot up in the air that could be frustrating if you like to know every single thing. No, stone unturned. But it was nice. But I definitely think maybe read on your own. Maybe not in a group of women.
It was pretty. I'll give it that.
All right. Well, speaking of books that every girl reads, we have Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry.
Oh.
Every year we get excited to read our M-Hen books because we love M-Hen. Not this year. Now, you know what? I don't hate it. I'm going to put it at, and I read it.
Yeah.
Because I could never do Emily that bad. I could never harm my girl. I love Emily Henry, but it's really, like, honestly, it was giving Seven Husbands to the extreme. And I'm on the plane so excited to start reading this book in the summertime. And I'm like, wait, no, what? No, I've already read this story.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it a little higher at okay, girl, I see you. But honestly, someone actually just said that it was their favorite book of the year, and I said Seven Husbands.
Yeah, but yeah, have you read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo?
Yeah, and maybe that's why we're not getting an Emily Henry book this year because she kind of flopped with that one. Not flopped. I mean, she's still like a mega success, and I actually got like a custom tote bag with the book because when I bought it at Barnes & Noble, they gave me like merch, and I was like, okay. I ain't gonna say no to merch. It was fine.
Yes. We love Emily Henry, as you'll see later on the list.
I ended up reading The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which was super exciting. I was thinking about it. I felt like when I was reading it that I was super behind on not having read it. But then I was like, it also came out in 2012. And like, that's just not appropriate for a 10-year-old to read.
Everyone
So like,
is. Yeah.
I was never going to read it when it came out.
Absolutely.
That said, you should read it. It was so fucking good. The magic system, the themes, I did throw up a little bit. It gets a little gruesome, but I'll let you know. You'll know when the gruesome bits are coming. You'll know. I'm going to put it at God tier.
Yeah.
I also then read The Parable of the Sower, throwing it back to like the 90s or something. And this was really good. It was kind of crazy to read because it is a science fiction book, but it was written in the 90s, but it takes place in like 2024, 2025.
Crazy.
And there was something sickening happening in my stomach when I was reading 2025, but they're like on the streets, dystopian politics. It felt too close. Like, oh my God, in 10 years, could we be here?
Yeah.
I'm going to say The Flowers Were Needed. It was really good. I would recommend it to people to read. It was actually like entertaining for an old book, I'll say. Like I was kind of like, I read some classics later in the year and I was just like, this was good. This was good. I gave it 5 stars. But like, well, I have my taste.
Speaking of kind of sad books, one of our book club books was Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing book. If you play video games in any aspect, you are going to love this book. This book was written and made for gamers. But also, if you're a little depressed, you're also going to love this book. The best way I describe these kind of books are like the way of life books. Like it follows 3 kids into their adulthood and they work at this gaming company and a lot of shit happens. I'm going to put this book at The Flowers Were Needed because I think this is going to be a classic. Like I think this is gonna be a book kids read. Like my kids will read maybe in high school.
No,
when
you're
they like
right.
get rid of like Of Mice and Men and shit. Like
No, you're right. I got very angry at a certain chapter in here, and again, if you know, you know. And it kind of ruined the book for me. Like it was going to be 5 stars. That said, I still gave it 4 stars, and I think any book that was going to be 5 stars that late in the game, The Flowers Were Needed.
Yeah.
Cheers to you. You could have been a little higher if you didn't do that prank.
And then you did that to Aubrey. How dare you?
How mean.
Okay, let's get controversial here. We are talking about the Silver Elite, Danny Francis. That whole like TikTok, like,
oh my God,
this is AI. Who is this author? Like, what Nepo baby is this? Who's writing underneath this pseudonym?
It's Colleen Hoover.
It's Colleen Hoover. Silver Elite are like modern day. Well, it's kind of like it's dystopian, so it obviously would be modern day, but still crazy. You know, it's been a minute since I read this book, and I'm not really looking forward to the next one, like I thought I would, at this rate. And so I'm going to put it at and I read it.
I'm gonna do but like really low on yeah. The thing is, when I was actually reading this, I thought it was really poorly written and I just couldn't get into it. It felt unserious. But then I started listening to it and it was kind of like reality TV.
It is
where I was like, okay, well, if you just like lower your expectations.
Yes, lower every expectation and just go in for like Divergent fun. Like my cousin told me, he's like, I'm going to start reading the Divergent books. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, he's like, I've never read them. I was like, okay, well, like, don't have high expectations, but when I was a kid reading Divergent, I was like, this is Bible. Like, this book is a masterpiece. Like, I will never read Divergent again because I know it's going to be ruined.
No, that's scary.
And that's kind of how I feel about Silver Elite. Like, this is great if I was like 14.
Yeah. Another life. But it is adult. There's smut on page. So
we should say that.
Not for children.
Not for children.
Next up, one for everyone. Well, actually, it also has smut on the page. But, who cares? Don't tell your parents. Read The Night in the Mall, baby. This is the hardcover official pick of the year.
Yes.
Best book ever. Actually,
it really is.
My husband is currently finishing it.
He's reading it?
Yes.
What a good husband.
He's like binged it in the past 3 days. I'm so excited.
It's such a good book. It's made for both women and men. Like,
it is.
Every guy that I recommend, I just bought it from my cousin. he's like, this is amazing. I'm like, yes, because it's an amazing book.
There's a side character that's a gargoyle, which is why I bought the statue. And he's literally, the gargoyle is the cutest,
Best sidekick
cutest
ever.
thing on the planet, and actually my birth son.
I've never thought about getting like a weird tattoo, but I would get a gargoyle tattoo just for our gargoyle friend in The Night and the Moth. So excited for next year.
The Knave and the Moon.
Rachel Gillick is mom. Thank you, Rachel. We love you.
God tier. Avi.
Yes. Alrighty. So next we have
Oh, Peyton's favorite book ever.
Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood.
And you're going God tier?
Yeah. Aubrey and I have never had such different reactions to a book before. Aubrey was like, this was hot, this was sexy, I loved it. And I'm like, I hate this book so much. I don't hate it. I just really would not recommend it. It wasn't for me.
And that's fine.
I do love Allie though.
If you can't find a love interest in a romance book hot, if you're not down for that, the book is ruined. There's no coming back from that.
He was just creepy to me. But you know, Aubrey said that she was thinking of Pedro Pascal and Sabrina Carpenter, and that did do it for me. But I already finished the book at that point, and my decision was already set in stone. And now whenever I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh. But you know,
I don't know where I want to put it. The thing is, I put Deep End at Okay Girl, I See You, and I like Problematic Summer Romance more.
We are opposite sides of the spectrum, girl. You better put it where you want to put it.
I can't put it next to Parable of the Sower. That feels dirty.
It does, doesn't it? When you read like a very like philosophical book, you're like, sex.
So it'll go on Okay Girl, I See You, but it's in front of Deep End. Very specific about that.
That's very, very fair.
Then, as we are in Q2, it was June, and so I did quite a few queer books for June, including Sunburn, which we read with book club. And I gotta say, this was the worst timing ever. I don't know who is Chloe's publisher, because if you have a sapphic book, the time to re-release it is not in July, it's in June. Because what happened is this book was like indie published or just traditionally published. I don't really know. But it had been published with an orange cover, and they were republishing it with a green cover. And in June, it was unavailable literally everywhere. You could only buy the book on Amazon. There was no audiobook. Like, there were factors fighting against this book.
During Pride Month,
which is so stupid. Like, be smart about this. Like, more people are going to pick up your book during Pride Month because they're going to intentionally seek out queer books.
Yeah.
Idiotic. Anyways, I'm going to do yeah. And I'm doing that so much nicer. No, I'm going to do it and I read it. I can't put it next to Silver Elite. It's really...
Well, we're normalizing it, right? So if it wasn't good, honestly, I did not read this book because I got married in June. So like I was at a book club that month, and you guys read Sunburn, and I was like jealous because I'm missing a month. I've never missed a month of book club. Mm-hmm. And you guys are like, it was good. I'm like, oh, thank God. They read not a shitty book, but just like a book maybe I wouldn't have liked.
Yeah. If I could have listened to it, I think I might have rated it way higher. But this book was giving me like PTSD. Like I was so panicked. Like the main character is an idiot, is a big fat idiot. And I couldn't get on board. I couldn't sit there and physically read her make stupid ass decisions.
There's so many better queer books. Like,
yeah.
We even read Lavender House last June, which is like a fun, spicy like mystery.
It's like Knives Out, but in like the 1940s.
Yeah, it's like Knives Out, but like he's actually gay, and like it's amazing. Like that was fun. So there's other ones. Speak your truth.
I also read, I tried to read it all on Juneteenth, and I did not succeed. But it was a romance book, so like I got halfway through. But I read Before I Let Go. It's a romance book. It was a second chance romance, and I enjoyed it. I'm gonna say, Okay Girl, I See You. because I did not feel that way about the second book that we'll talk about later.
Well, speaking of sapphic romance, you can't get better than when you add toxic lesbian vampirism. Like, step aside, everyone. We read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by the one and only V.E. Schwab this year. This is a big honking book, and I was really scared to have this be a book club book at that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I definitely am not going to put it as at like God tier.
Yeah.
Because I really want, like I said, I want to save these spots for my special books. But guys, this book is so much fun because it's so like if you like reality TV and you like vampire fantasy-esque things and like even like Bridgerton historical vibes.
Yeah.
This is your book.
It was so good. I also am not putting it at God tier specifically because there's 3 POVs and I hated one of them. She was just annoying.
Yeah.
She could not compare with my other 2 characters. So Bury Our Bones is going to go at the top of the flowers were needed. The top.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised. I thought I'd be like kind of middle of the road with this book because V.E. Schwab is hit or miss. I mean, I love her writing, but just in general, how the book sits with me. But I will say, like, the time and even the different POVs I did enjoy. But yes, there's one character I just don't really feel we needed to know too much about her. She was merely a plot device, not a main character.
Yeah. Rip. Okay. As we move into Q3 with our July to September reads, I actually started this book in June because it is another sapphic pick, which is A Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reed. This is like dystopian Hunger Games, but our main characters are queer and they fall in love with one another, even though the one character is like hunting the other. I liked this. I thought it was really good. The dystopian cyberpunky vibes are not like quite my aesthetic. And later I read a different Ava Reed book that I liked a lot more. I'm going to put it at Okay Girl, I See You. I really see you. Like, it's Slade. And I think if you're interested in that concept, Ava Reed's writing is like so like luscious that I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, her writing style is a little different. All right, next we're jumping into, this was such a fun summer read because it's called The Siren. So we are dealing with mermaids. Who writes this? Ward?
Amelia Hart.
Amelia Hart, yes. She wrote, I was thinking Wayward.
Yes.
She wrote Wayward, which we read last year, and I really liked a lot. Sirens, we are more like coastal instead of like cabin in the English countryside. Like, so a little bit of a different setting, but still fun. There's a huge plot twist in this book, which is like fun as well. I think I'm going to put this at Okay Girl, I See You. I'm in between and I read it, so I'm putting like low end. I don't want to put and I read it because I really do love Amelia's writing.
Yeah.
But it's on my low end of Okay Girl, I See You. Because I will say it was a great book, but it wasn't amazing. And it's really like me. But I love this cover. If you guys haven't seen this cover yet, you need to
it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm going to put it actually on the high end of Okay Girl, I See You. I gave this book 5 stars. Asterisks. I was given money to read this book. And I think because I wanted to do a good review, I read it really quickly so that way I could like actually give a review and let people know whether or not I recommend it. And I do recommend it, absolutely. I think if you take your time with it, it can be a little slow of a read.
Yeah, it took me 2 months to read this book.
But if you audiobook it at 2x and finish it in 3 days, it was good. I think it's just as good as Wayward. If you've read Wayward, it feels the same, but with a different aesthetic. And I liked the aesthetic of Wayward more.
Yeah, I think that threw me off. I was like, are you just trying to do the same thing? Yeah.
So top of Okay Girl, I See You. Because I see you, Amelia Hart, and I like what you do. It's like historical fiction, but with trauma, and she adds a little magic. She sprinkles magic on top of the trauma bits. Viking era.
Yes.
We have A Curse Carved in Bone. That's so fun because we read A Fate Inked in Blood, book 1 last year of this Viking romantasy. I thought that this book 2 was so much better than book 1. Book 1 felt so cut and dry romantasy to me that going into book 2 and there was some subversions of the romantasy tropes, I was like, fresh water. I
Fresh
loved it.
water. She tried. I definitely I will say I like this one better. I think I am like, I don't know if like during this time of year, every year when we read this Viking book, I don't know what's going on in my head, but like I remember really liking it and I want to put it up towards the flowers were needed because I think
Yeah.
it's a really good series, but I also like couldn't tell you a damn thing. You know, so maybe I'm gonna put it at, okay, girl, I see you, like, you're trying. Like, I like this one a lot. Like, I'm putting it up there on the higher end. I don't know if I can put it right at the flowers were needed point, but I really recommend this series, especially if you're getting into romantasy,
Yes.
which is crazy because I used to like dress up as a Viking in middle school. Like, that was my aesthetic. I used to wear braids and I had like a Viking. I was obsessed. Like, this should be my shit. And still, I'm sitting here kind of like, yeah, Freya, weird shit happens at the end. Like, that's cool. But, like, it's getting lost. And so I feel like I just need to put it there.
Yeah, I think I'm really torn, especially because I just placed the sirens at the top of Okay Girl, I See You. I'm going to place Curse Carved in Bone in front of the sirens, but still at Okay Girl, I See You. I'm looking at the books at the flowers were needed, and I don't think it's quite there, but I
No, it's not.
absolutely would recommend it. I think it's way better than the first book.
Moving on, you have a book.
Should I pick up my mug again?
Oh, that's right. What a letdown.
Guys,
Poor Aubrey.
I read The Rebel Witch, one of my worst reads of the year. Such a letdown. It's book 2. Book 1 was The Heartless Hunter, and I really liked The Heartless Hunter. But let's just say the story took a really bad turn, and I don't know what the fuck she was doing because I hated this. I hated it actually, and it's really unfortunate. I think she made a lot of poor choices in this book, in which could have been a camp fun read, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say fuck you and burn your pages because sexual assault should not be used as a plot device, people.
Fair enough.
All right.
Speaking of.
And to say that again, love in other words, I also am going to rank really low, and I'm going to say would not recommend because the ending.
The thing about Love in Other Words is that there's 2 different timelines happening, and the one timeline is beautiful
so
and
good.
fun to read. And then and they're really mature young kids that have gone through a lot of shit. But then the modern day, it's like, what are we doing? Like, what happened to those bright, smart young kids?
Yeah.
Like, you guys are idiots. And
They got stupider with age.
they got so they're idiots. And so I'm gonna put this at the low end because I kind of feel the same way about 7 Days in June. So I'm gonna put this at yeah, it's a book. Like, I'm kind of not recommending it though, which sucks. I know it was really popular on TikTok when I got into the whole book.
I know. It's crazy. But we have some positive things to say.
We do.
We are in our romance era, and Peyton and I both finally read Emily Henry's first book of the year. So if you got mad at us for talking a little bit of smack on Great Big Beautiful Life, don't worry because we read Beach Read and loved it.
Yes, I am definitely putting this at The Flowers Were Needed.
Absolutely.
This book is it is up there with my favorite Emily Henry book is Happy Place.
Mm-hmm.
This is like tying. Like, it's such a short read. I read this in Hawaii, which was fun.
Amazing.
And like, such a good book. Loved it. Love January.
Love.
I'm very excited for this movie.
It's got to be the next one, right?
Yeah, definitely. It better be.
I did quite a few romance books that we're going to speed through here. I did Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. That was a smutty great time. In a way that I wasn't expecting because it is some of her earlier works compared to Deep End and Problematic Summer Romance, which were new releases. But I absolutely ate it up. It actually follows the brother of the main character from Problematic Summer Romance. And I'm going to say The Flowers Were Needed.
Damn.
It was a blast. I read it in 6 hours. Had a great time. Then I also read yours truly, my first Abby Jimenez book. I actually read this before I did the short story. Absolutely loved it as well. God tier, the flowers were needed. Like, actually, not actually God tier, but like for a romance book, God tier. You know what I mean?
She's good what she does, apparently. I'm excited to read it.
It was so funny. Like, I was constantly actually laughing out loud, which that doesn't always happen with books. Like, books can be funny,
Yeah.
but like, hee hee. This was like, haha. That's science. And you can quote me on that. Then I read This Could Be Us, which is book 2 in the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan. And it was about a middle-aged woman going through a divorce and
Dang, so relatable, right?
being a girl boss in a very millennial cringe fashion.
I learned about the millennial pause the other day. I'm scared I have it. And so maybe I should start reading middle-aged books.
It's time for you. Yeah, I just, especially back to back with Beach Read Not in Love and Yours Truly, which is crazy because I did read Before I Let Go, which was book 1, and I loved it. But The Friend was kind of in her girl boss era in a way that I didn't give a shit about. So I'm going to say would not recommend. I'm sorry. It wasn't fun.
Next, Aubrey read a duology, really. And I popped in for the last one. So Aubrey started off with A Study in Drowning. I read this last year.
No, you read it this year. You just read it in like January.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you read it this year.
I thought I read it last November. Okay.
It was just so early in the year.
It's so, like, it's a blur. Like, I can't believe it's already December. Okay, so we read A Study in Drowning this year by Ava Reed. Okay, so Ava Reed's writing, it's very dark academia. Like, girl had an aesthetic and she ran with it.
Yeah. Look at her Instagram.
Yeah. I'm
judging. I'm judging your answer.
I'm so conflicted, but I'm going to put, I like The Study in Drowning way more than A Theory in Dreaming.
Oh, absolutely.
Although I respect what she was trying to do with A Theory in Dreaming, it wasn't the right time for me.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to do actually A Study in Drowning at The Flowers Were Needed because
okay. Yay!
I think this book does deserve flowers. I think that it's really unique. Even though I think her chapters are a little too long. Yes, there may only be like 13 or 15 chapters in the whole book, but that means that those chapters are going to be like 30 pages long. A Theory in Dreaming, I think I'm going to put okay, girl, I see you. Like, I see what you were trying to do. I'm putting it on the lower end. But I see her efforts. I see what she was trying to do, and I understand her pain, rage, and political underlying messages, and I'm here for it, but I just didn't necessarily love it as much as A Theory in Dreaming. I mean, A Study in Drowning.
I agree. A Study in Drowning, I gave 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it so much. Dark Academia and the Fae, like, that is actually a genre
and a little spooky too,
built for me. A Theory in Dreaming, I think she should have taken, like, she had something she wanted to say, and I think she should have built an original story around that, or cut out the girl's POV.
Yeah.
And only had us in the boys' POV.
Yeah, it was Preston's story, let's be real.
I'll put it at the bottom of Okay, Girl, I See You. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
All right, Aubrey's going to talk about a book I'm really upset I haven't read yet, so go ahead.
I know. And it was good.
I have it, though. It's right here, everyone. I have it now. I'm included.
Oh, yay! Did you get it for Christmas?
I got it through our book club exchange.
Oh, yes, I remember that now.
I didn't get the special edition I asked for, but that's okay. I'm really excited I have it.
They might have stopped selling it because someone asked me for Calabasas and I didn't buy it for them because there wasn't sprayed edges. And I was like, that's kind of
I can't do that. You cannot give like, if there's an option, you don't get the sprayed edges.
Yeah, but like they just sell out, you know?
They do.
As Blood Over Brighthaven should have, because this was an amazing book. 5 motherfucking stars. I'm going to say The Flowers Were Needed, but it's going up towards the top, like right next to Bury Our Bones. Steampunky fantasy, dealing heavy with themes of colonialism. Yeah.
Love.
Very different from our next book that Peyton forced us to
Yeah, this was, so my husband was going on a work trip and I just finished a book and I had KU at the Kindle Unlimited at the time. And I was like, I just need a quick palate cleanser, fun, romantic-y read. Well, I did not know I was getting myself into a Why Choose romance. Because the first 3 chapters of this book were really fun. And I was like,
Yeah.
Aubrey, like, everyone on TikTok is like, oh my God, Bridget Kemmler came out with a new book. Like, I'm like, who is this woman? Okay. And it was on KO. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Like, let's do it. Read it in 2 days. Horrible book. Would not recommend. For me, it's just one big, like, tease the whole time of, like, the guy being like, oh, I see his penis. It's like, ah! Like, I was like, what?
I'll say, even for me, I didn't mind the spicier bit because I like a little bit more spice in my books. I do like a character arc, though.
There's none.
I like a plot.
She's not there.
Those things weren't relevant. Those things left in chapter 4.
These bitches go on the road and they are on the road for the whole book, and at the end they're like, why don't we have a threesome? And I'm like, maybe not.
We won't be continuing with this series. And I'm actually really shocked at how popular this book is. Like, I have girls that, like, their favorite book is Babel by R.F. Kuang, and they ranked in their top 5 this year Warrior Princess Assassin. And I was like,
cannot be more different.
did we read the same book?
Like, that is the, like, Hannah Montana best of both worlds sort of reading. Like, it could not be me.
I'm gonna say, yeah. No, yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah.
That one's on me.
I'm just saying the gap between my and I read it and yeah is a cavern. After reading Bury Our Bones, I just craved vampires. All I wanted to read about was vampires, and so we have quite a few on the docket here. But starting off, I reread Twilight. And you know what? You know what, motherfuckers? I want to put it at God tier, and I'm not going to because that's disrespectful to the other books up in God tier. But, like, middle school me was right. Middle school me was right. Like, every single line slaps. Now, I can't say about the rest of the series, but I can say that, like, I get it. I get it. And if you don't get it, that means that's on you, boo, actually. Because it was so good. It was so good. And then for my birthday in November, I got to see Twilight in concert where a live orchestra band played while we watched the entire movie. The flowers were needed.
Magical.
But not next to Parable of the Sower.
We have an amazing book club read here, everyone. This is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is like top 5 book for me of the year.
Yeah.
My mom read this book and she's like, I was crying. Now, when I say read, I think I need to preface this and say you should listen to this book.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should listen to this book. It is amazing. I don't really cry when I read books, but I will say I shed a little tear.
Women in Space, baby.
This is going up on God tier wordsmiths.
Yeah?
I love this book. It's so good. I need to get a physical copy.
You do. It's really pretty, too. Like, the end page is like a starry night sky. It's beautiful. I'm going to do The Flowers Were Needed, and the only reason it's not higher is because it's not my genre. And I just, like, when I think about a story with, like, swords and I think about a story without swords, there's a difference for my personal entertainment.
Rocket ships, swords, lady knights, astronauts.
But, like, right at the top of The Flowers Were Needed, like, outweighed Bury Our Bones, outdid House on the Cerulean Sea, outdid Blood Over Brighthaven. TJR knows what the fuck she's doing.
Oh, all right. Well, moving on. This is very timely because this movie is about to come out.
I know. I need to read it.
I know. I have finished the Emily Henry universe as of the moment, and I feel very good about that. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I have a confession to make. I didn't really like this one as much as I thought I was going to.
No.
Yeah, I think I can't stand the girl. I like Alex, but Poppy, I don't.
I've seen the trailers. She's a lot.
Yeah. I think that I really was into him. Her, I was like, shut up. Shut up. But some people like are obsessed with these two characters. But then when I read January and August story, I was like, yes. I was like, yes, these are my people. So I'm going to put this book, but it's Emily Henry. I can't rank it lower. I can't rank it on the same level as Great Big Beautiful Life because I did like it more than Great Big Beautiful Life. So I'm going to do that. Okay, girl, I see you.
And fair.
Emily Henry at every tier, you know?
Then we went on a banger streak. Like, absolutely.
We really did.
And I was so nervous when we started this because we had Calabasas and Wild Reverence back to back, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like Wild Reverence because Calabasas is gonna be so good. And then they were both absolute slays.
We can pair these two together because Calabasas was such an intense read that going right into a fantasy book, I was like, I am literally stomping this thing into the dirt before I read it. Like before I even pick it up, it's hurt. But both these books, both Calabasas and Wild Reverence, are God tier wordsmith Bible for me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even think it was possible. And that just proves how good R.F. Kuang's writing and Rebecca Ross's writing is. And I've shit on Rebecca, and I love Rebecca. And this was my favorite book of the year. Wild Reverence. Yeah. Calabasas is right there too. You must read Calabasas.
They were both in our like hardcover nominees for could have been the best book of the year. So fucking good. Absolutely. God tier. And you know what? I'm going to do something controversial. I'm putting them above Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yeah. Honestly.
For me,
more satisfaction.
Yeah. I also read, which I know Peyton loved, she just didn't read this year, Project Hail Mary with book club, little science fiction action movie coming out in the spring. Motherfuckers, listen to this book. Listen to it because you need to. You need to listen specifically. And 5 stars. Absolute 5 stars. I'm going to say, God, it's getting crowded, but I'm going to put it with the flowers where needed. But should I? No, I can't put science fiction in my God tier.
Yeah, that's so unlike you. I will say Project Hail Mary is the exception. And the minute I read this book, girl, boy, gay, non-binary, I don't care. Literally, I was like, you are going to love this book. It does not matter what your interests are. This book is for everyone. And Ryan Gosling's going to be playing Riley and Grace. And your girl loves a good sidekick character. And there is an amazing sidekick in this book. So,
yes.
What are you going to do? Is it going to be at Flowers Were Needed?
Yeah, it's going to go right next to Bury Our Bones.
That's a good place for it.
That's what I think. I also did, and this one, I can't rank this one, actually. Actually, I don't think I can put it on here.
Off the charts.
Off the chart, but like, okay, so I finished Wind and Truth. It took me up to September to read this book. I was reading it all throughout the year. Truly the book of 2025 for me. This is 1,300 some page book. The longest book I read all year. It was crazy. The ending of this book, like the last third of this book, is some of the best words I've ever read. Unfortunately, the pacing was so different from the rest of the series that the first like half, I was like, ugh. It was a climb. It was a climb. The flowers were needed.
Oh.
But at the top.
But at the very tippy top.
At the very tippy top. I started to read a classic a month, and then I also like failed in November, so I read 2 classics this year. And
hey, that's more than probably you've read in the past, right?
Yeah,
and you've read some fun classics.
They're fun. Oh no, I did 3. I read Dracula. That was my first. I was in my vampire era, and we have more vampire books to come. You know what? And I read it. The beginning, the first like 9 chapters when we're in Jonathan's POV was the shit, and I could have given that 5 stars, and then it just kind of got like boring, and like we meandered way too much in the middle. Like, I don't know, this might have been the era where you're like paid per word.
True classic form. You're like, we got lost in the beginning, in the middle, but we ended up somewhere.
We got a little lost, but and I read it, and I'm glad I read it.
So that finishes up Q3. We are jumping into Q4, which many of you have not yet seen.
Yes.
So, alrighty, we did start off Q4 with
Get the Mug Out.
This is my first FU and burn your pages, everyone. The thing is, I gave this book like 3.5 stars when I finished it. Yeah.
Girl, edit that.
Yeah. Because I read it so fast, I was like, wait, actually, like I am, because of this. Okay, we need to let everyone know. JLA, whatever, everyone knows we don't like her.
You know.
What the fuck is this called? Primal?
The Primal of Blood and Bone.
Okay, well, I never know the names of them, but there are dragons. There's like a dragon bit in this book, and just that, and when characters from previous novels, like the prequels, come, I got really excited. So like that's why this does need to go on FU and burn the pages, because the only parts of this novel I liked were when people that don't even belong in the novel showed up.
Yeah. This has gone popular on TikTok, so I feel like I can kind of say this. Guys, we might see Lady Liberty in this medieval fantasy book.
That's right. That's right. You're right. We do.
Ew.
You just see like Beyonce and Jay-Z like in New York, concrete jungle, where you're transported to.
It's not plot relevant either.
No, you're like, wait, are we in fucking New York City right now? Wait on my dragons. Give me back my dragons.
Yeah, really.
Why is there
really.
a taxi cab right there? Lady Liberty.
Yikes.
Thanks.
But Allie Hazelwood's book 2 in her supernatural paranormal romance book, Mate, baby.
The vampires are back. And the werewolves. Guys, flowers were needed. Nothing more to say. Favorite Allie Hazelwood books right here. If you haven't read Bride, read it. If you haven't read Mate, fucking read it. They're both amazing.
Amazing.
I loved it.
And I didn't read New Moon after reading Twilight, but I kind of did with this book. Like, if you're a Twilight girly, you're actually going to eat this up because we were in Grand Forks, Washington.
This was the new moon to Twilight. She knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing. I love it. Then I continued my classic streak and I read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This slayed.
Frankenstein's such a good book and people sleep on it.
Yeah, it is the founding mother of the science fiction genre. I want to see the movie because I know that came out. So then it also, like, I read it and then the movie came out and then everyone was reading it.
Yeah, you're like, wait, I've seen the Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie 5 times. That's how much I love it. That's how much I'm obsessed with it. And speaking of book world, Jacob Elordi plays the creature in Frankenstein. I was really unsure because I know him as the Euphoria kid.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in Wuthering Heights with Margot Robbie. And once again, I was like, no.
And that one's controversial.
But after watching Frankenstein, I take back all of my criticism. He did an amazing job.
Amazing. I'm going to say the flowers were needed.
Yes.
But, like, at the bottom, because it's a classic. So, like, the language.
I did research it a little bit, but Mary Shelley wrote this book off of a dare. Her husband was also a writer, and I think like brother-in-law or something, and they were in a cabin for the winter. And they're like, you know what? Let's challenge each other. I'll write a romance, you write a science fiction. And she wrote Frankenstein. And now look at her.
She's so cool. When her husband died,
cool.
She kept his heart in the drawer of her desk.
Yeah.
Punk ass bitch. And I love her for it.
Okay, moving on. Book club book. This is going to be an yeah for me. We have Mad Honey by Judy and something, Jody or something. I don't know.
Yeah. The girl who wrote My Sister's Keeper.
I wanted this book blind. Shouldn't have gotten it blind.
I had it spoiled for me and I think that helped.
I thought it was going to be a romance.
Oh,
and it wasn't. It was about a murder trial. And it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Not my genre. Yeah.
Well, we have been romance girlies this year, and if you have been watching the podcast for a while, you may know that one of my favorite romances is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter.
Yes.
And so Lynn Painter came out with a new romance this year called Made for Each Other. And of course, it includes a very wealthy gentleman and a maid. And long story short, he walks into his apartment, one of his houses across the world, and this bitch is sleeping in his bed.
Oh, as you do, as one
does.
She is
the maid that he never sees, and the story unfolds from there. Really fun, really happy I read it. I'm gonna but it is just a fun romance. Nothing will be better than the movies. So I'm gonna put, and I read it, but the very top end, like near the answer is no.
Yes,
up top there.
Important distinction. Okay. Then I went crazy, and we're gonna sit with me for a hot minute here. First up, I read Alchemy of Secrets, which is Stephanie Garber's debut into fantasy, and it was cute. It was camp, like all of her works are. I do think the level of whimsy at which Stephanie Garber writes at is better suited in YA than adult, or she could just pick a boyfriend. There's 8 love interests in this book, and it feels sacrilegious to say that that's a bad thing, but it kind of felt like a bad thing in this book. I'm going to say, okay, girl, I see you. I see what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
I see you. I do. Then I also read An Education in Malice. This is by S.T. Gibson, who wrote what I read last year, A Dowry in Blood. These are vampire books. A Dowry in Blood was 1,000% better, and that's not to narc too heavily on an education in malice. It was just like, I see you, but like at the bottom of I see you. Then in November, for a birthday treat to moi, I decided to read all of the Lady Night books because Peyton and I loved The Night in the Moth so much. I wanted to experience every single one. And so I did. And I had a blast, an absolute blast. I read The Second Death of Locke. I read The Princess Knight. I read The Isle in the Silver Sea. I read Holy Wrath. And I read The Everlasting.
Girl popped off.
5 Lady Night books right in a row. And they were favorites. So The Second Death of Locke, I think, is the most popular one. I'm going to say The Flowers Were Needed.
Okay.
The Flowers Were Needed. It was good. It was prosy. It was yearnful, which is what you want. The Princess Knight. This is a Legally Blonde retelling. Legally Blonde transposed into a medieval night setting. Written by a TikToker. I had really low expectations. And I'm going to say, okay, girl, I see you. I see you. You really tried, and it was much better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be top tier camp, kind of bad, and it was much more like dynamic and richer than I thought it was going to be, but still a little predictable. The Isle in the Silver Sea, though, is my pick of the year. It is my favorite book of the year. It was so fucking gorgeous. We follow a knight and a witch who are destined to fall in love over and over again because their story keeps retelling and keeps ending in their deaths. Because the magic system is literally magic in this book, and I could gush endlessly about it. So that is God tier, baby. That is the second God tier spot right next to The Night in the Moth. So this Lady Night thing worked out perfectly. Holy Wrath is written by a local Philadelphian author. It was cute, and I read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. The writing, if you liked When the Moon Hatched and A Priory in the Orange Tree, and you like that style of writing, I think you'd love it. For me, it was a little too thick. The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow was gorgeous, was beautiful, was like, a TikToker I follow says it's so good that they're going to call it literary fiction. Oh. And I agree with that. It is about a historian who's sent back in time to record the legacy of this like lady knight, Sir Una, and her tragic death. And he does that. And then he's sent back in time again with a few alterations. And so it's like a time travel, fall in love again and again, love story.
Fall in love again and again.
I'm going to put this in God tier. At the back.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think if I hadn't read The Isle in the Silver Sea, I would be so much more excited about it. But reading all of these books were really good, and reading them so close to each other was a lot for my little brain.
But the fact that you have 2, that's awesome.
2 God tiers, that's insane. And that's
insane.
Because again, I just want a lady with a sword.
What can I say?
What can I say?
Wrapping up the 2 books that we read together at the end of the year here, we have Brimstone by Callie Hart. This is the second book in Fae of Alchemy.
Yeah, Fae and Alchemy. Quicksilver, book 2.
Quicksilver was 1. This is number 2. I'm gonna put it, and I read it.
Yeah,
but middle of the road. I read it.
Yeah,
if you'll go with me there.
Maybe at the top of and I read it.
Yeah, like I didn't hate it. I'm looking forward to the third one, I guess. But like, it was good.
It was too long. It was too long.
It was too long.
It was a little chaotic.
But speaking of a book that I did really enjoy, and it's Christmassy, was Good Spirits. I feel like Christmas books never hit. This one really did. I've really enjoyed this one. I would, every time I'd read a chapter, I'd go to my husband and be like, this is what's happening now. And I don't know, it kind of got me in the Christmas spirit a little bit, but it's fun because it's a whole Christmas Carol play on the Christmas Carol, past, present, future. But what happens if you fall in love with your past ghost person?
It was so cute. It was so cute and camp. And like, we've read so many bad Christmas books. So many.
I'm putting this at, okay, girl, I can see you. I see you.
Yeah. You can't rank it any higher, but for a Christmas book, it's at the top.
It really is.
And funnily enough, I actually then read A Christmas Carol.
Really?
Y'all, A Christmas Carol? It's 3 hours long.
Oh.
So Jacob and I...
Charles Dickens?
Yeah, Charles Dickens really popped
Dang.
off. It's like basically a short story. And you know what? We watched A Christmas Carol, The Muppets, and then listened to it. Identical. Just like The Muppets. And I'm crediting The Muppets.
The Muppets Christmas Carol is so fun that when I watched the like Jim Carrey one, I was like, why is this so scary?
Yeah. I will say in the book, he does like try to like kill the ghosts once or twice, which doesn't happen in The Muppets, but otherwise identical.
Imagine the Muppets trying to kill each other in the Christmas Carol. That's crazy.
I'm going to put it right next to Good Spirits. I think my entertainment was the same.
To round up the rest of my year,
Yeah.
I read The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, I think it was called.
I wanted to read that.
I would recommend it. I'm going to put it at, and I read it.
Christmas book.
Because I couldn't put anything higher than Good Spirits because that one is better. Really fun, sort of like murder mystery, but like it's about two writers that get invited to their like favorite author's house for the Christmas season,
Yeah.
and crime happens, and they try to figure it out. It's really fun.
Ew.
To wrap up, I did a Mary Kate Andrews book. I always forget the name of it. Bright Lights, Big Christmas, I think.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it at yeah. Not because I didn't like it, but because it's just a Christmas book.
You can only do so much.
It's at the top of yeah though, but I don't want to put it too much at the end. I read it, so I feel like that's a good spot. I would recommend it though. It's a really nice Christmas book.
Then because I wanted to do the Christmas book, I finished the Caraval trilogy with finale. I'm so glad that I got to like wrap this series up because I actually read Caraval on New Year's Eve last year in a day to finish my reading goal. So like in 365 days, I read all 3 of the main trilogy, the Christmas special, and Stephanie Garber's adult fantasy. So I read 5 Stephanie Garber books this year. Insane. All of the other books are set around the Caraval game, and this one wasn't. And I think that really, really hurt the book. I still liked it. It was still fun, whimsical. Like it had everything that I love about Stephanie Garber. The plot, I just like, my feet couldn't get into it. I'm going to say, Okay, Girl, I See You, and we're going to put it at the bottom of Okay, Girl, I See You, which is sad because, again, Legendary was a 5-star read. Book 2 was a 5-star read. Then I read the Christmas special. Girl, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she was on when she wrote this Christmas special. It's like, it was like kind of watching like, it felt like foreplay between 2 of the characters.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Like the one of the sisters gets kidnapped and she's like, oh no, I'm kidnapped. And then she starts kissing her captor and like almost has sex with him, but it's a YA book, so we don't actually have sex.
Do that? Yeah.
And then it was the love interest all along, and she kind of knew.
The whole book is just edging.
It was weird. It was a really weird direction for a Christmas special.
I mean, at least in Sarah J. Maas's Christmas special, Farrah at least like opens an art studio. So like,
Yeah, no.
he has ambition.
I would not recommend. I mean, listen, it's 2 hours long. You know what I mean? Like, just fuck around and find out. But no, it was kind of weird. And then, to wrap up the year, I read The River Has Roots. This is a science fiction fantasy book that is only 100 pages long, baby.
Dang.
Listen, do I hit 60 books? Yes, I did, and I'm very proud of myself for that. Did I cheat a little bit with these short stories?
We all gotta get places.
I think The River Has Its Roots is actually really interesting. It is set... Our main characters are these 2 sisters who protect the gate between like the mortal realm and the fairy realm. And the magic system's grammar, and like in a way I don't understand, but it's very prosy and only 100 pages.
Oh God. Yeah.
But like the plot of the book is that one of the sisters is supposed to marry this like ugly villager boy for like land purposes, but she's in love with this non-binary fae person.
Okay.
And I was like, slay, down bad. And so it was great. It was great. I'm going to say the flowers were needed. It's a blast. It's 100 pages. It's prosy. The magic system doesn't make sense fully, no, but it's okay. You don't need to know.
Love it. And it finishes your reading goal.
And it
So
finished my
hell yeah.
reading goal.
We're here.
Guys, that's so many books.
And today, guys, today is New Year's Eve, like when we're filming this.
Yes.
And so that's really exciting that like it's
2025.
happening. In a couple hours, it will be 2026. And a year from now, we'll be, oh my God, a year from now, we'll be like, it's going to be 2027. That's freaky to me. That's not okay.
Yeah. Crazy.
We'd love to see you guys next year. And so please like and subscribe. Comment down below what your favorite book of the year was. If you agree or disagree with us, we're fine with a little bit of spicy comments. And yeah, we really hope to see you guys next year. Happy New Year. Hopefully you are celebrating with some champagne or some sort of sparkly beverage.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll see you next year.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us and happy reading.